A colossal object, roughly the size of a small city, is racing through the outer reaches of our solar system, and it will reach its closest point to Earth on December 19th. Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone during lunch break, and suddenly, every science news outlet is running the same story. Astrophysicist Neil DeGrasse Tyson appears on CNN, his usual confident demeanor replaced by something you've never witnessed before: genuine bewilderment. He keeps using one word that sends chills down your spine: unprecedented. This isn't science fiction. This is December 19th, 2025, and that word is anchored to the most disturbing astronomical discovery in human history. The third interstellar visitor we've designated 3I Atlas. Over the last month, an unprecedented mobilization has swept through astronomical institutions worldwide. Every major observatory, from Manacaya to the Atacama Desert, the revolutionary capabilities of the James Webb Space Telescope, and even classified military tracking systems have redirected their focus toward a single, impossibly faint dot of light crawling across our sky. What could trigger such a coordinated scientific emergency? The alarm isn't simply due to Atlas's extraordinary velocity. It's because this object appears to defy every principle of celestial mechanics we've established over the past century of space science. Dr. Tyson, typically the voice of measured scientific reasoning, delivered an assessment devoid of his characteristic reassurance. He declared, "The data we're seeing suggests an object that couldn't have formed through any natural process we understand. We're in uncharted territory." So let's examine precisely what has transformed overnight, why seasoned astronomers are questioning their life's work, and what this visitor's presence might signify for humanity. Let's begin with the moment of discovery. It occurred on August 15th, 2025, at exactly 3:47 Coordinated Universal Time. The Catalina Sky Survey in Arizona, our primary guardian against potentially hazardous asteroids, detected an irregularity. Typically, this network serves as Earth's early warning system, methodically cataloging space rocks that could threaten our planet. But this detection was unlike anything in their database. It registered as a barely perceptible smudge, no brighter than a 20th magnitude star. For perspective, astronomical magnitude works inversely. Smaller numbers indicate brighter objects. The most brilliant stars visible to the naked eye rate around magnitude 1. A 20th magnitude object is extraordinarily faint, tens of thousands of times dimmer than human vision can detect, essentially a whisper against the cosmic void. Within 48 hours, the International Astronomical Union's Minor Planet Center released a bulletin that triggered emergency meetings at observatories across the globe. The object's path was hyperbolic relative to our Sun. Its approach velocity measured an astounding 62 km/h, with its predicted closest approach threading between Earth and Mars. Let's decode these numbers. A hyperbolic trajectory means this visitor isn't gravitationally bound to our solar system. Unlike planets or asteroids locked in predictable orbits, this is a cosmic wanderer on a one-time flyby, destined to disappear forever into interstellar space. The velocity, 62 kilometers per second, is staggering. To contextualize this, our most ambitious space probe, Parker Solar Probe, achieves roughly 200 km/h at its fastest, but only when diving toward the Sun. This object maintains its breakneck pace while traveling through the cold emptiness between stars. The designation tells the complete story: 3I Atlas. That 3I prefix officially marks it as only the third confirmed interstellar object in recorded history. The first, Oumuamua, was a mysterious, elongated visitor that tumbled past us so rapidly we barely managed basic observations. The second, 2A Borisov, behaved more predictably like a typical comet, though it carried subtle chemical differences from our solar system's natives. Atlas, however, arrived larger, more luminous, and as incoming data revealed, fundamentally more alien than either predecessor. The first anomaly that forced astronomers to recalibrate their instruments is Atlas's phenomenal speed, 139,000 miles per hour. That translates to over 62 kilometers every single second. Let's put this in perspective. It's roughly 60 times faster than a high-velocity rifle round. If you could fire a bullet from Miami towards Seattle and simultaneously launch Atlas from the same starting point, the object would reach the Pacific Northwest before you could finish reciting the alphabet. The kinetic energy contained in this velocity is beyond comprehension. Were this object on a collision trajectory with Earth, it would deliver enough destructive force to trigger a mass extinction event. Fortunately, every orbital calculation confirms it will miss us entirely, a relief that does nothing to diminish the scientific upheaval it's causing. This velocity hints at the tremendous forces operating in our galaxy's depths. How does an object achieve such incredible speed? In conventional astrophysics, the primary mechanism is gravitational acceleration. By passing close to a massive body like a giant planet or star, smaller objects can gain enormous velocity through gravitational assist maneuvers. However, there are theoretical limits. Even the most efficient gravitational slingshot requires specific conditions, typically a very massive star, often part of a binary system, to provide the necessary energy transfer. When researchers traced Atlas's trajectory backward through interstellar space, they discovered an unsettling void. No supermassive star, no binary configuration, no stellar formation region that could account for this tremendous ejection velocity. It's as though the object emerged from a cosmic catapult that doesn't exist. The second anomaly elevates this from puzzling to genuinely disturbing. Initial spectroscopic analysis from the James Webb Space Telescope revealed a chemical composition that challenges our fundamental understanding. The data showed an overwhelming abundance of methane and nitrogen compounds with virtually no detectable water vapor. Throughout our solar system, and in every theoretical model of planetary formation, comets are essentially frozen reservoirs of water. They typically contain approximately 60% water ice by composition. Atlas breaks this rule completely. It registers less than 2% water content, while its surrounding gas cloud consists almost entirely of methane and complex nitrogen-bearing molecules. This discovery alone would revolutionize our textbooks. But the mystery deepens. The nitrogen isotope signature, a fundamental fingerprint revealing an object's birthplace, produced readings that shattered our measurement scales. The ratio of nitrogen-15 to the standard nitrogen-14 measured 0.045, compared to our solar system's baseline of roughly 0.0037. This represents a 4 sigma statistical deviation, meaning the probability of measurement error is virtually zero. This isotopic signature functions like a cosmic DNA test, revealing the stellar environment and protoplanetary conditions where the object originated. Such a dramatically different ratio indicates formation in an alien stellar system with completely different nuclear processes. Dr. Tyson, in his characteristically direct manner, outlined the two most plausible yet equally revolutionary explanations. Either, he stated, Atlas condensed within a nitrogen-rich protoplanetary disk surrounding a fundamentally different type of star, an environment we've never observed or some process has artificially altered its chemical composition after formation. He concluded grimly, "Both scenarios force us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about how planetary systems develop." The third anomaly pushes this discovery beyond the boundaries of known science. While Atlas follows a mathematically hyperbolic orbit, indicating it's not bound by our sun's gravity, there's an inexplicable complication. The object exhibits a subtle but persistent deviation from its predicted path. A gentle but measurable force appears to be influencing its trajectory. After accounting for gravitational effects from the Sun, all planets, and even the largest asteroids, Atlas continues to accelerate slightly, as if guided by an invisible hand. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the ultimate authority on orbital mechanics, classifies this anomalous acceleration as a 5.1 sigma outlier. In statistical terms, this means the probability of measurement error approaches zero. Something genuine and unprecedented is occurring. Naturally, comets can experience non-gravitational forces. As solar heating vaporizes their icy surfaces, escaping gases create tiny rocket-like thrust. But Atlas's chemistry shows almost no water ice, the standard fuel for such outgassing. The detected methane could sublimate, but calculations show the observed gas production is insufficient to explain the measured acceleration. This is where scientific discourse ventures into genuinely unsettling territory. Dr. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist renowned for his bold theories about Oumuamua, immediately published preliminary calculations. He demonstrated that if Atlas possessed an extremely low density, essentially a vast, gossamer-thin structure, the observed acceleration perfectly matches what we'd expect from solar radiation pressure acting on an artificial light sail. Light sails represent proven propulsion technology harnessing the momentum of photons themselves, similar to how wind propels a sailing vessel. Dr. Tyson, while maintaining scientific caution, refused to dismiss this possibility outright. In his presentation to the National Academy of Sciences, he included one final, chilling scenario. "We cannot eliminate the possibility of artificial origin until we've exhausted every natural explanation. Currently, we cannot do that." He referenced the theoretical framework of advanced civilizations, specifically those capable of engineering on galactic scales. Such beings would possess technology indistinguishable from magic to our current understanding, entities who could manipulate matter and energy at levels we can barely conceptualize. The prospect that this object might represent technology from such a civilization transforms this event from scientifically fascinating to existentially terrifying. So what does unprecedented actually signify in this context? Crucially, it doesn't imply immediate physical danger. Atlas will safely pass Mars's orbit on September the 3rd, reach its closest approach between Earth and Mars on September 18th, then continue its journey into the interstellar void, never to return. The terror isn't physical, it's philosophical. If Atlas's velocity and chemical composition prove accurate, we face undeniable evidence of cosmic environments whose physics we don't comprehend and whose formation mechanisms remain completely alien. It would demonstrate that our galaxy harbors processes far stranger and more diverse than our models predict. But if the anomalous trajectory persists, if the artificial origin hypothesis gains credibility, the implications become exponentially more profound. It would suggest we might be observed by technology created by intelligences operating at energy scales beyond our imagination. It would transform us from the universe's only known intelligence into cosmic children in a galaxy populated by beings of incomprehensible capability. Either scenario ranges from rewriting scientific literature to questioning whether our entire understanding of reality is fundamentally incomplete. As observation requests overwhelm telescope scheduling systems worldwide, the international scientific community treats 3i Atlas as a once-in-a-millennium event. Our final opportunity for detailed spectroscopic analysis closes in just 96 hours. After that, the object will have retreated too far for even our most powerful instruments to study effectively. We'll be left with whatever data we can desperately gather in these crucial hours. And we'll be left with the profoundly unsettling recognition that the universe may have just delivered us a test we're nowhere near qualified to pass. Keep questioning. Keep searching for answers. And if you have access to any astronomical equipment, point it skyward. History rarely grants us second chances at moments like this.